Hi, Castlebarians. It is now time to have a casual conversation for the beneficial good of our community. The show you are about to listen to is called What's Up, Castleberry? And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you your hosts, Andy and Drew.
Oh, and don't forget that lovely producer, Robin.
What's up, podcast listeners? Welcome back to episode number 85 of the What's Up Castleberry podcast. Listeners, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you are new and newer to us, we're so glad that you have joined us for our conversation about all things Castleberry. Andy, Robin, myself are all Castleberry residents, and we love to have conversations each and every week with a variety of guests and people from the community and city that we love. And in fact, today we've got a couple of unique guests with a unique story, and very excited to hear about their involvement in the business world in Castleberry. So welcome, listener. Welcome, Andy and Robin. As I said, episode number 85. I did a quick inventory of our social media page. Now, we mention every week that we do have an Instagram feed, but I am not on Instagram. So that's Andy, if we have any content, I know it's either you or Robin that post.
We do. That's where we put things about you, Drew.
Well,
we know you're not Instagram. Yeah. And actually, we have over 2 million followers on Instagram too, because Robin's really been working it. So it's great.
That's great. I'm ready for the kickback check to come my way.
No, but isn't this an old man thing to do, Robin, that he thinks social media is only Facebook?
Yeah, that's like the oldest thing you could do.
I know. We've got 656 followers on social media. No, that's one social media channel. There are all kinds of new mediums now, right, Robin?
Yeah, it's not just the Facebook anymore.
The Facebook.
Let's say this. If we get 1,000 followers, so we're at 656 on Facebook. If we get 1,000 Facebook followers, I'll consider joining Instagram. How about that? I don't know if that's encouraging or not for people.
Yeah, I don't know if Instagram is ready for that, Drew.
Yeah, but I did the math, you guys, and if we, at this rate, because we've had 85 episodes and we have just over 650 followers on Facebook, if our goal is to get every one of the 35,000 citizens of Castleberry to like us on some sort of social media platform, it'll probably take around 4,000 episodes in many, many years. So,
yeah, by which time people will have moved in and out and been born and died and all that kind of stuff. But Drew, talking about numbers, just before you jumped on air, before we started recording, Robin shared with me that we are close to 7,000 downloads of the episode.
That's pretty cool.
Of our podcast, not just a episode.
Right. 7,000 total listens. Thank you, listeners. We joke that it's often just our family that listens, but unless they've listened several hundred times each episode, I think there's more of you out there. So
yeah. And who wants to do that? We can barely get through one. But to your point, Robin, I did misspeak and I said 7,000 on one episode. Who do you think we would have to have as a guest to have 7,000 listens in one episode?
Robin, this is audio. You can't have long pauses.
What's Jesus doing these days?
There you go.
I don't think he's doing many podcasts.
Yeah, probably not.
There you go, an exclusive.
I was thinking like Hulk Hogan. I feel like he's available.
There's another old man reference.
Yeah.
Right, Robin?
Aren't you my age, Drew? And Andy's the old one. Like, you can't betray us like this. I know.
I'm thinking like through my, brain, like what TikTok influencers do I know and all that kind of stuff. And Drew's like, let me see, who was famous 30 years ago?
Somebody from the 80s. Well, it makes sense. It all connects because I am a dad and I feel old like a dad. And I think it's time for the dad joke of the week.
That was the lame segue, but we'll take it.
It was. All right, listener, here we go.
And it's worth mentioning, Drew, that we do not know the punchline yet. That is not in our show notes.
You don't. This is genuine reaction.
Woo, the pressure.
Listener, Andy, Robin, why are nurses afraid of going outside?
Why?
There's too much poison ivy.
I got a buddy of mine. We'll call him Doug. because that's his name, who over the last few days has been sending me dad jokes, right? Just because maybe it's his favorite segment. Anyway,
awesome. Thank you, Doug.
Here's a couple for you. I've just seen a man slumped over a lawnmower, crying his eyes out. He said he's doing fine, but he's just going through a rough patch.
All right.
I accidentally rubbed ketchup in my eyes. Now I have hindsight. Just finished 4 cans of alphabet soup and just had the largest vowel movement ever.
I was going to say there's probably a no, it's good. Hey, see the problem was Doug. Thank you. First and foremost, Doug, thank you so much for these. The problem is, Andy, you have a much better poker face, and you can keep this. I laugh at anything. So yeah, I'm not saying those weren't funny, but I'm the perfect audience for dad jokes.
It is now time for your local update about things happening in your community. It is now time for Castleberry in the News.
For this week's segment, we've got 2 things to talk about here on the podcast. The first is regarding just a quick mask update. And the school board and much conversation has been had about what is the mask requirement in Seminole County. Andy, would you like to kind of share where we are and what are some of your thoughts? Because this is obviously a very hot button topic of the day.
It is. And who would have thought that a little piece of cloth, 8 inches by 3 inches, would be dominating our news cycles and raising people's blood pressure and all that kind of stuff? But anyone who has students in the school will know there was a special meeting which lasted for 8 hours. The school board, full of public comment about whether or not we should make masks mandatory. And after all that, the school board decided to stick with what they had already agreed upon, that they will make masks mandatory with exemption.
Yes.
And if you would like your kids to be excused, then you simply send in a note from the parents. And apparently about 17% of students are not wearing masks at school for that reason. What's my thought on it? I wear a mask. I've been vaccinated. I'm trying to keep away from the virus as much as we can. I think my natural disposition leans towards social distancing. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. And for me personally, I realize it's my personal opinion, a little bit of cloth, I don't want it to get in the way of relationships.
Yeah, no, very good. I do not wear a mask generally in public, not because I'm anti-mask. I certainly have worn a mask many, many times. Just kind of probably selfish out of comfort, but I am certainly for keeping people safe. So please take care of not only yourself. I am vaccinated. Our family has gotten vaccinated. Take care of yourself and think about others as well, no matter what, moving forward. And we're thankful, Andy, as we know the school board, teachers, administrators, so many people have such difficult decisions. We have difficult decisions inside our own homes. Mm-hmm. And so we really do understand and recognize that this is an ongoing topic, but we just wanted to give a quick update there regarding that 8-hour meeting. Now, 8 hours of meeting, Andy, the fear of being gross and being edited out by Robin, did they, were there any vowel movements, breaks?
Oh, I think there were, I think there were several vowels used in some very strong language.
That's, in
the discussion. But again, as you said, kudos to our leaders. It is a tough place to be, and it is absolutely impossible to please everybody. And so, you try to do what's right, and you learn and listen as much as you can. But yeah, it's a tough time to lead now, and we're grateful for our leaders.
Well, let's switch gears then for the second part of our 2-part Castleberry in the News segment. Let's highlight the opportunity that is local to Orlando. Something you are very passionate about, Andy, is seeing men become better husbands, become better fathers, become better community members, workers. The Better Man event is right around the corner. In fact, as of this airing, it will be the week of the Better Man event in Orlando. Tell us about some of the exciting things, some of the guests, some of the goals behind the Better Man event.
Yeah, thanks for the shameless plug, or letting me make this shameless plug, because this is an event I'm very involved in leading, have been for a number of years, and have just seen some incredible growth in this organization over the years. And I think the reason we've seen growth is that there's one thing that we can all agree on. Old, young, men, women, men need to get better. I know I do. I know there's plenty of growing room for me as a husband, a dad, a friend, a brother, all that kind of stuff. And so the challenge for guys to get better is something that women, I think, have been waiting for a long, long time, and something that we as men need to do. So the Better Men event is a 2-hour event that equips and challenges and inspires men to do that. This year, we have an incredible faculty of speakers. It has been quite an adventure working with their teams and working with some of them to get everything prepared. It is not easy, but I guess Denzel Washington, may have heard of him.
Wow, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to share his faith story for the first time. And there's an incredible, well, I don't want to spoil it. You should come to the event. There's some great, great nuggets in that story. Toby Mack, you may have heard of. He's a recording artist. He dances like the young kids, but he's actually way older than me, but really a very cool guy. Ricardo Kaká, a friend of mine who was a soccer player, voted best player on the planet. In fact, he's going to put a little promo on his social media for us this week and could reach 90 million people. So I'm just kind of nervous that we don't have any typos in our flyers and all that kind of stuff. But it's cool. We've already got about 25,000 people signed up, both at the event, but about 90% of those are watching through stream. So we're super excited in 40 different countries, every state almost, I think now, or at least we hope to be by the 18th. And man, it's just amazing. Got a very small team who's making it happen. And not that I can take all the credit at all, but pretty cool that something this global can come out of little old Castleberry.
Yeah, you've been working very, very hard, Andy, and kudos to you, and really excited to hear the testimony of Denzel and Toby Mack and Kaká as well as the other speakers, and just really think it will be a great night of encouragement. I know some men from our church are getting together to stream it as well. If somebody is listening to this podcast and wants to listen on the 18th, give us the website and the details of how they can do that.
Sure. www.bettermanevent.com. That's bettermanevent.com. We've got a few tickets left in person here in Orlando, but we got as many streams as you would like. Price is just really reasonable. And if price is a problem, let me know, and we'll give a special What's Up Castleberry discount to everybody.
Perfect. Good plug. Love it. Thank you, Andy. And thank you to all involved in the Better Man event.
And now, Castleberry, a mental health break with Dulce Merida.
Try going off the grid. If going on social media is stressful for you and it keeps you from spending time with people around you, then leave your phone at home or leave it in the car whenever you feel like you need a time away from it. Try to disconnect from your emails, your messages, and your alerts for a period of time. It doesn't have to be the whole day, but it can be a small portion if needed.
Church Together exists to connect people together with Christ in our community and for our city. Together is the word that defines what occurs when relationships are working well, and we want to help you make life's most important relationships work. We'd love for you to join us on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock and find out more about our church community at www.ourchurchtogether.com. All right. Welcome back, listeners, to the best part of the show. Some people think that it's Drew's jokes are the best part, but this is the meat of the show where we get to interview some local special guests about who they are, what they do, and why they are a valuable asset to our community. And our two guests today certainly fit that criteria. I would like to welcome Sergio and Xiomara to the show. These two special folks are the owners of 3 That's right. 3 Bravo supermarket stores in Seminole County, 2 of which are within Castleberry city limits. And so welcome both to the show today.
Thank you for having us.
We are thrilled to have you. So just as a couple of icebreaker questions, by way of getting to know you, right? As we go into the supermarket, right, we see the magazines by the checkouts. If a magazine, one of the magazines in your kind of checkout aisles was to do an article on you both, what would be some of the key points in that article?
So some of the key points we believe is, number one, we grew in New York and our parents are from the Dominican Republic. We love baseball. Being from New York and the Dominican Republic, that's one of the things that we are known for. Now, we love the Red Sox. So even though we're from New York, we are not a New York team.
I was wondering, Mets or Yankees, but Red Sox did not come into the equation.
a little curve there.
There's a baseball pun, a little curveball.
So we're excited to be here in Florida. We moved down in 2004, and our parents taught us the meaning of hard work and respect for one another, professionalism as well. And that's something that we strive to do in every aspect of our lives. And being here in Castleberry, one of our goals is to have a professional team of people in each store so that we can cater the community that we operate in. And that's something that we are known for, a friendliness, atmosphere where we get to know our customers on a regular basis and the community that we serve as well.
I love that. And just a really cool example, the two of you are the American dream, right? That you came from the Dominican Republic, hard work instilled in you, have created a successful business venture, and now are serving in the city and community in which you reside. Xiomara, let me ask you this question. You're, I'm guessing, are maybe the shopper of the family and are always looking for good food and drink. In the Bravo supermarket, what is your favorite aisle? What do you, when you walk down a certain aisle, what do you say? I gotta get that item. What would you say?
So I think that being from an island in the Caribbean, we add a little bit of spice to everything we do. So I love walking through just the aisles in general and getting to know the products that we carry, reading the ingredients, because sometimes those turn into conversation starters at checkout lines. You see what customers are, you see the spices they're buying, and you get into a conversation about what recipes they're making at home. And I just love spices for all the flavors that they add to home-cooked meals. And so that's normally where you would find me, down the spice aisle.
You would probably find me down the candy aisle. What about you, Drew?
Well, I love that answer, Xiomara. I too am. I joke, and my wife knows this to be true. I could eat food from the Dominican, from Cuba, from Colombia, Puerto Rico, every day. I love beans and rice. I love plantains, and just the spice, as you said, is something that's really important to me. I am actually growing peppers in our backyard, and so I'm learning a little bit about spice. So I'm with you. I enjoy the spice aisle as well.
That's awesome. Let's turn this into an official invitation to our deli.
Oh, I'm gonna come by. You got to show me what.
Absolutely.
Draw out the flavor.
Yeah. Now, Sergio, Xiomara, I wouldn't get too excited about Drew's peppers, though. I don't think he can be another resource for you to sell in stores. I don't know if they're up to that standard.
Probably
yet.
not.
So I met you both a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, and we were talking about ways that we can serve the community. And in doing so, found out a little bit about your background. You met in college. You worked on Wall Street, and then you moved to our neighborhood streets here in Castleberry, which is a pretty unfamiliar journey. There's not many people who go from Wall Street to 1792. Tell us a little bit about that transition that you took that brought you to Castleberry.
So from New York, we always wanted to be in Castleberry.
Yeah, I've heard everybody does.
Yeah, so we met in college. We went to school upstate New York in Newport, a beautiful little college town there. And we always have, I guess, is that immigration dream, to have your own business, to be that American dream. So from graduating college, we worked in the same company in Wall Street. And Sergio's family has a background, an extensive background in retail. Mm-hmm. So a few years after being married, we saw an opportunity to move down to Florida, where we wanted to pursue that passion of business ownership. And that's what drove us to Florida back in 2004, right in the middle of hurricane season. So that was our start. That was our welcoming into Florida.
Yeah, well, that was the summer we had 3 in a row, right?
That was a memorable year.
Oh man, yeah. Welcome to Florida.
Yeah.
But the good news is, if we can survive that, then we can survive anything, right?
Absolutely, yes. So since then it has been, a little bit of a roller coaster ride. We've experienced our first economic downfall in 2008. We made it through that as well. So we can experience, we've made it through that. We can make it through pretty much anything. And our dreams as business owners just kept growing. And that horizon of expansion was always something we looked at, and we just thought, this was our place to be at.
That's fantastic. Not that we would ever wish people that are in harm's way or to go through difficult times, but I imagine it's funny you mentioned the hurricanes. The grocery stores are some of the places that everyone goes in the midst of a storm. So there is some benefit there to living in a place where there are storms and there need to stock up on things. But obviously, that's not why you all exist. Sergio, tell us a bit about the company of Bravo. I've driven by your stores. I know many others have. You're got 2 in Castleberry, 3 overall in Seminole County, and it expands beyond Florida. But you mentioned friendliness as a key cornerstone. What are some other things that make Bravo supermarkets unique when shoppers enter your doors?
One of the things that makes it unique is that each location has its own personality. We don't just open a store in a neighborhood. We let the people turn the store into a family-oriented place to come in. And we change the store as our customers come in and request things that they might not be able to find someplace else, or that they can only find back at home from the islands, Caribbean islands, or Latin America. And so not only is Bravo throughout Florida at this moment, in New York as well, we're continuing to grow. And we are small enough that we can grow as fast as we want. And we are big enough that we can bring items from countries where other stores are not able to do as fast as we do. And so that's one of the things that makes each Bravo store unique to the community. We are your neighborhood store where you can come in and out as fast as you would like, and find from your cold cuts to your hot foods to your grocery the way that you want.
And so then I guess a natural follow-up question then is for either one of you to answer. What was it about Castleberry? What is our unique culture? I know we have a diverse population, a growing Hispanic population. Was that one of the motivations, or what was the motivation to opening a store in Castleberry?
The demographic in Castleberry, Longwood, and Sanford business model. Castleberry has a great potential, so does Longwood and Sanford. So number one, we look for demographic potential, and the closeness of each store makes it an asset for us to be able to be in one store within 10 minutes to 20-minute drive and be there to serve our community. So the location of each store, it's unique. Number one, demographic, the closeness of each other. And the opening in Sanford, we had customers that wanted us to open up in these locations because they were going from this location down to Sanford. So that was some of the reasons why Longwood and Castleberry were an asset for us to be in. And we are just very happy and excited to be here.
That's really very flexible business model. You know, so often when we think of grocery stores, we think of these huge chains that really don't have much personality. But because of your size and scope, it really seems like you've hit perfect ground to be able to feel like you're part of the local community, but big enough to pull in the suppliers you need. I love that. That's a great space to be in. Your business model is perhaps a little bit different from some other supermarkets as well. As we were talking the other day, it's not like you just come in and, rent some space. You purchase the land around you. And I think in the case of your Longwood store, which is technically in Castleberry, right, and the Castleberry store on 436, you didn't just move into some space, you actually bought the space. And that speaks well to your investment, both in the business and in the community. It seems that you're both people who jump right into a project, that you're all in kind of people. Why is it important to you both that you give this everything you've got?
Like Sergio mentioned, Bravo stores are typically independently owned. Mm-hmm. So when you decide to open up a store, easiest option would obviously be to rent a space. But we also feel that at that point, yes, you're in it for the long term, but you're not as committed. So we always wanted to be part of the community in which we have our stores. So our independent business model, aside from what we have learned from Bravo as a corporation, is, okay, so we're in these communities. What we're going to do is we're going to maybe sacrifice a little bit of the store size. We're not, this big door supermarket, but we are very committed to the community because we buy the real estate. So in our 3 Seminole County locations, we are no longer just passing by and having to negotiate leases with landers. We are our own landers, and that means we're here to stay as long as we get the support of the community, of course, if that makes any sense. This is where we want to be, and we are invested and committed to upgrading always the spaces we're in. That's what we have done. I invite you guys to come by Lake Catherine Plaza and the new location in Longwood, so that in the Castleberry city limit, so that you can appreciate what has been done with that space. Mm. That was basically a hub there for nothing before we purchased it. The upgrades to the plaza itself look great. We have other new businesses that have opened along with Bravo, so we're all in it, just looking for the support of the community.
That's a great point, that oftentimes business brings about other business, right? It drives traffic to a particular area or a community. So then in regards to the desire to really be about the community, you guys are also serving in the community. Could you share about some of those things that you're passionate about serving in Castleberry?
The advantage that we have as being owners of being a smaller part of a bigger name is, we can make decisions ourselves. Mm-hmm. You speak to Sergio and I, and we are flexible in time enough to make a decision that affects our communities directly. So we're here, and what we want to do is develop those social development and relationships and create alliances with organizations we can be involved in, where activities and programs are beneficial to the communities that we are in. We're excited to participate in the projects that Drew has mentioned. And we can't wait for November, because I know it's going to be an exciting month to showcase what we can all do, the community we live in. We're just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, just to fill in the blanks there for some of our listeners, in November, we're going to have a neighbor-to-neighbor event where we work with the code enforcement department with the city and fix up some of the homes that are in code violation, where the residents have some challenge and inability to fix the problem. And we're so thrilled that Bravo is going to come alongside us and provide some little surprises for the families, and also maybe even provide lunch for the workers, because a big part of what you do is catering as well. And maybe our listeners don't know this. Tell us about Bravo Catering.
Absolutely. So again, we can cook and cater and bring to your special event any of your favorites or of our favorites, so that you're every dish. If you think it, our cooks can pretty much make it. So for your next special event, let's be creative. Let's sit down, let's be creative, and let's make sure your guests, they always remember the food. I don't know, people at parties always remember the food. So make sure Bravo's in your list of places to visit.
Perfect. You're a good salesperson in addition to being an owner of it, making me hungry. So just a couple of questions left with our time. Thank you both so much for your time. Question I have is just I promise I'm going to be going to Bravo very, very soon. What's your most popular item? What's something that like I just can't leave the store without purchasing?
I would say you have to try our meats department. And it's not just about going to the meat case and picking up a package. The next time you're in Bravo, talk to the butcher, have them cut you a fresh piece of steak, however you like it grilled, and just bring it back home and let me know how it is after. But I think our meats, it's the one area that you must try. Especially the prices. The prices are, very, very low and competitive. They're not expensive at all. So you can enjoy a very good USDA piece of steak for the Bravo price.
That's awesome. Drew's actually just run out of the studio right now to go and buy some for his barbecue. Drew, come back. But guys, as you've been talking, one thing that just comes through loud and clear is your commitment to the community. That you really are a community store. And I love how you're catering. It's not like you say, this is what we do, take it or leave it. You say, how can we help you? And when we go to your butcher for some meat, you say, hey, what do you want? How do you want it? And you tailor to the customer in the community. That means so much. So you have two stores very local to our Castleberry audience. One is on 436. The other is on 1792 at the Lake Catherine Plaza. Listeners, we don't care which one of those you go to, but we would encourage you to go to them. And when you're there, be sure to say hi to Sergio or Xiomara. But friends, if our listeners go to the store and you're not there, is there a way that they can connect with you and maybe find out more about the store?
Absolutely, yes. So we are on your favorite social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. You can visit our website, sign up and get the electronic version of our weekly circular. You can, call the store and give us a hi and just come in and give us a.
Thank you so much, not just for your time today. We know that running 3 businesses and, of course, leading a family as you have 2 children is not an easy task, and we're so grateful for your time. But beyond that, we're so grateful that you chose Castleberry as your home, and we're so grateful for your service in our community and the blessing you are to many in it. Thank you both so much for your time. Listeners, we're sorry that some of that interview was a little bit choppy. We have a storm coming through, and we all know how that can mess with our internet from time to time. But we hope that you got the gist of these great folks who are leading a community store that thinks not just for themselves, but is thinking about you too and how they can best meet your needs. We're so glad that they're in the city, and we're so glad for the business model that they're using and the inspiration that they are offering. Talking of inspiration, I'm going to throw it to Drew, who has our inspirational moment.
Thank you, Andy, and I will catch it and run with it. So our inspirational quote today is from a person named Kakuzo Okakura. And this is from the Book of Tea, T-E-A, the Book of Tea. And the quote is this. I love this quote. The art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings. The art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings. I think it's human nature to try to hold fast to certain things. If I could just keep where I'm at in my life right now, or if I could just get to this goal and then I can stop working, or I can stop growing or being a better. No, the reality is that life is always about change. It's always about movement. And I love the way this is framed, that the art of life, to really embrace, experience, enjoy life, is to recognize that we're going to be constantly readjusting. We're going to constantly need to adapt to whatever situation is placed in our path. So the ability to readjust to your surroundings, to your circumstances. I encourage you, listener, be flexible. Be willing to adapt, to change, to adjust, because the art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings. Thank you, Kakuzo Okakura.
For more information, please check out our website, Facebook page, podcast feed, or Instagram feed.
Unless you're Drew, who doesn't have Instagram.
All with the name What's Up Castleberry. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. Please rate and review us. And until next time, we hope that you have an incredible week.
Where's our MySpace account?